Namaste all. This is Omni reporting to you live at 1335 hours, 1:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here in glorious Providence, Roger Williams Park, Temple of Music. This is Rhode Island. This is America. So as I was saying, I was going to continue with an affirmation that would transform my worldview and thus the experience of those people who come into contact with me or come within contact of my sphere of influence, however way, whatever form that takes. So it's a perfect day. This is what I consider to be an ideal day. Temperature, it's a little hot, but not extremely. I'm wearing shorts and a t-shirt, so I feel great. I believe that this right now, I'm feeling ultra naturally fortunate. That's what I believe a zillionaire, a true zillionaire feels overall, if you were to encompass it. I used to think 2 days ago that the greatest sensation was ultra natural happiness. But I think either happiness is incorporated by feeling fortunate, and fortunate is about feeling a sense of appreciation. I said that love, I define love as appreciative attention, indivisible appreciative attention at this here and now moment. So that's how I define love. And so if I love the moment and I am grateful for it and I'm thankful for it, I'm feeling a state of being fortunate, right? Very lucky, extremely lucky. And if we're extremely lucky, it would take a extreme luck to live an entire life where you're able to come to a point in your consciousness. Omniversal consciousness is like you have led a life that allows you to perceive a zillion dimensioned omniversal dream game wherein you are completely awake, ultra naturally lucid. What does that mean? That means you can manifest we'll call it the power of the gods, the knowing of the gods, the presence of the gods. When we're divinized or deified, when we divinize ourselves or deify ourselves, or make a god or goddess of ourselves, or recognize the divinity that we carry with us, we can do anything that we can conceive of. And if we can conceive of it, all the elements of the omniverse can then coordinate itself harmonically, musically, mathematically, to correspond to whatever it is that our current goal is, objective, wish, desire. Say we want something and we're in a story. Our objective is, what do we want? Well, I want to feel like a true zillionaire. I want to perceive life through the worldview, the omniversal worldview of a zillionaire. And part of that is imprinting into the matrix, as it were, the dream game, the omniversal dream game, something that overwrites all previous programming. So you're taking absolute control over yourself, complete grand mastery of yourself and your life at the here and now moment. And then you're decreeing something. It is a decree. You have the power to decree that a thing is so. That's what Amen means. It means so be it. So I was thinking that in my meditation, I could repeat an affirmation which would transform my own worldview, my omniversal worldview. And what would that be? I was walking through the woods before waiting for the people to evacuate the temple so that I could speak into being. This is my sacred special spot, right? In all the earth. I come back to this place often. I grew up I was born in North Kingstown, but I grew up in Providence. And then I traveled, throughout the world, and I experienced various things that brought me to zillion dimensioned omniversal consciousness. And we've been talking about that for a while. I know that a lot of people, I don't have a big following and I don't really need one. I just need to play the service of the person who executes omniversal will. So I believe that whatever it is that I'm thinking, whatever actions I'm taking, whatever I'm feeling is in complete alignment with the omniverse, or the zillion dimensioned omniversal dream game. So if I conceive of it, I believe since I've given my will over to the omniverse, I say that, I'm like, in the morning, zillion dimensioned omniverse, thank you for everything and everyone that I have in my life, for everything that I am. I'm a zillion %. Thy will be done through me, here and now and forevermore. So what does that mean? That means I'm a servant, an avatar of omniversal will. And so whatever actions I take is an execution of that will. All is permissible. All actions, all thoughts, all emotions, all vibrations, all frequencies are accessible to a zillionaire. That's the fortune that we have. We're so rich, so wealthy, so healthy, that you can consider us to be tapped into the omnipotent, the omniscient, and the omnipresent. And so today, as I went through the park, I had a conception about what that affirmation would be that I would speak into the present, which would lead to a boomerang effect and a domino effect. So it's simultaneously a domino effect and a boomerang effect that affects the entire zillion dimension omniversal dream game from where I happen to be at the present moment, right? The present, decisive, definitive, critical, meaningful moment. That's an amalgamation of some ideas that I've learned throughout my life, wherein I'm surviving, thriving, and prevailing by adapting, improvising, and overcoming the situation, that anything that is an obstacle to the desire, the present desire that I have. So what is that? In the present tense, as I was walking through, it morphed itself. But the final affirmation that came to my mind is, I am vibrating and singing omniversal lyrics about feeling the ultra-naturally happiest, orgasmic, dynamic, magical, and miraculous sensations at this here and now moment, a zillion %. That's the affirmation. So I'm speaking that into being here in the Temple of Music, and it's reflecting out omniversally throughout the zillion dimension omniversal dream game, creating a program which everything that follows this moment or this second is an unfolding of that new zillion dimension omniversal worldview. So let's say it again. I am vibrating and singing omniversal lyrics about feeling the ultra-naturally happiest, orgasmic, dynamic, magical, and miraculous sensations at this here now moment, a zillion %. I am vibrating and singing omniversal lyrics about feeling the ultra-naturally happiest, orgasmic, dynamic, magical, and miraculous sensations at this here now moment, a zillion %. I am vibrating and singing omniversal lyrics about feeling the ultra-naturally happiest, orgasmic, dynamic, magical, and miraculous sensations at this here and now moment. So I've spoken that into existence. So be it, so be it, so be it. Amen, amen, amen. So I've done it. I've done the whole magical idea of threes, negatives, neutrals, and positives, covering the triune forces that represent all that we know to be everything, all and everything. If there weren't people here close by, I would sing it in a little louder manner, and I think that they're about to part. So this video is pretty short, and then I think it's a holiday. I don't know what holiday it is, but the streets are mostly empty. A lot of businesses are closed. Operation Stand Down, where I live, is closed. So now people are at a distance, and I can speak it a little bit louder. I kind of wanted to sing it at full voice, but there are people out there. But I'll raise my voice a little bit to give it some more energy. I am vibrating and singing omniversal lyrics about feeling the ultra-naturally happiest, orgasmic, dynamic, magical, and miraculous sensations at this here and now moment. I am vibrating and singing omniversal lyrics about feeling the ultra-naturally happiest, orgasmic, dynamic, magical, and miraculous sensations at this here and now moment. So I'm going to spin it around a little bit. I want you to get a view of what I'm experiencing, all right? Let's do a quick one. Kind of take you on a ride. This is like a roller coaster ride, right? Bang. So we've spoken it into existence. And we can expect, if you become a member of my audience, if you become one of the heroines and heroes of the organization that I have founded, then you'll be part of that. You can think, if you're in alignment with what I just said and spoke into existence, then you most likely share the same values and ideals that I share. I believe that these values are representations of how we exhibit heroic qualities, virtues, the virtues of our culture, whatever the virtues of our culture are. But if we're, entities that exist on Earth, we are aware of the entire world, and we're aware of the zillion dimension omniverse, then we are representing the values, the virtues, and ideals of a zillion dimension omniversal dream game. And that allows all things. All things are permissible, utilizing and wielding and harnessing and harvesting a zillion % of our potential, so that it is no longer latent, but now it is awake and it is fully activated. We are self-individuated, self-realized. We know ourselves. There's one of my rings says Temet Noshe, which means know thyself. When you know yourself, you know that you are connected with the omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent, negative, neutral, positive force that exists throughout the zillion dimension omniverse, or forces. So I think that's it. I wanted to speak that into existence. That's the affirmation for today. Anybody who says these affirmations is obviously aligned with my values, with the virtues that I wish to represent, as well as the desire to feel those sensations, to feel ultra-naturally happy, ultra-naturally fortunate. So part of that being fortunate, if you feel fortunate, you do have an indivisible appreciative attention to the here and now moment, or for the here and now moment, or at the here and now moment. And that's a state that I have right now. I really do feel fortunate. Like I said, I'm showing you an ideal day, a perfect day. Knowing all the things that are going on around the world, throughout the zillion dimension omniverse, things, well, they could be so much worse. There are prophecies, current prophecies, and observations about the present that say all this beauty, this order that we've created, this system that does work to a degree, right? There's always degrees of success and failure. But at this moment, you could say that the resilient incarnations, I've arrived at this here and now moment, and I'm thankful for it. I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful to be who I am, to have all that I have. I love it, a zillion %. I ultra naturally love it a zillion %. I love you ultra naturally a zillion %. I love you ultra naturally a zillion %. I love you ultra naturally a zillion %. So it's a perfect day, and I was thinking, I have food that'll go bad if I don't cook it. So I'm done for today. I'm heading out. I hope that you will continue to follow, be an audience member, or you will become an audience member or a follower, and donate your resources, your time, your money to this cause. It is a cause. The cause is species continuity. I'm doing my part, and hopefully you're doing your part wherever you happen to be, to help our species from continuing on during and through this extinction level event that we're facing. So the problem that we're facing, if you were to look at it in story terms, the problem being presented right now is our whole species could cease to exist. That's a fact. That's the truth. It's accurate and it's precise. But that does not mean just because we are facing not just a pandemic, we're facing all these different other forces that basically correspond to all hell breaking loose around the earth, World War III, total chaos and pandemonium. But there will always be pockets within those, within the sphere where people are feeling something pleasurable, something that makes them feel something within the sphere of happiness and fortune, great fortune. So as you travel through and you make your way and you navigate through these pockets of chaos, if you're navigating and you're utilizing your connection with the source, which is the core of the planet, then you're able to, make your way through these scenes almost musically, like, within the exact amount of time, just like in the movies. You'll move out of the way from forces that would destroy you. And we can do that as a human species. We see this force trying to annihilate us, to create an extinction of our species. And we can, at least for today, and maybe for the next, for eternity, we can duck the species being wiped out. I don't know. Maybe we will always evolve, possibly. But for the moment, that's the cause. Species continuity, that is our cause, the one that we share. Heroines and heroes today, because of the situation that we're facing globally, that's the cause, right? The problem is, how do we save our species? Can't save the world. The world is inevitably going to end at some point. It'll break up into many pieces. All life on Earth will be extinguished at some point, and the sun too will have its day where it ends. The energy that left, the vibrations and the frequencies, the energetic signature of all that has occurred at this here and now moment, which is all that exists: time, space, the present, the past, the future. All those things are incorporated into the zillion dimension Omniversal dream game. So that's all I have to say today. I'm gonna go home. It's a holiday, and I'm gonna take advantage of that as I'm taking advantage of it now. I believe that I've done the work of the day. This is the execution of the Omniversal will, as it were. And so I'm gonna go home. Namaste, all. A zillion percent. A zillion percent. A zillion percent.